Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. Like many Saskatchewan communities, the town of Maple Creek is experiencing growth on a number of fronts. And in order to keep up with the demand for services, Town Council plans to borrow approximately $2 million for a new lift station. The Lyric Theatre in Swift Current was packed to capacity for Jacqueline Hudec's Prairie Girl CD release party. The Swift Current Comp Colts recently received a surprise visit by the Nissan crew during an afternoon practice. Thanks for joining us here today. The town of Maple Creek is a growing community, and in order to keep up with aging infrastructure, it's planning to borrow close to $2 million. We have more in today's top story. Like many Saskatchewan communities, the town of Maple Creek is experiencing growth on a number of fronts. And in order to keep up with the demand for services, Town Council plans to borrow approximately $2 million for a new lift station.
We're putting a larger load. There's more upgrade coming. The old stuff is getting wore out. It's, like any infrastructure, it's been in for years and years. I believe this was one of the original lift stations from it'd be the early 60s, I guess. The hospital was built in 63 and whatnot. So yeah, it's been here for a long time. It's been failing. This has been planned, in our long 10-year type plan. We knew we were going to have to put one in eventually. And now with the addition of the new hotel, and now the new hospital too, which can tie in, which is tied in already across the street, but there's some backup there if we do have a collapse. The line where it crosses the highway up on First Avenue here by the hotel is collapsed where it crosses the highway. So we've been to service the house that's across the road there. They've just been using the septic tank and sucking it out since early spring.
An investment over the next 10 years, which Mayor Red says the town is in good financial shape to endure.
That'll be paid back over cutting back on expenses of everything else. I mean, we've faced some huge costs in upgrading equipment and all the other stuff over the past 6-8 years. But I mean, we're in good enough shape that we can do it without raising costs, raising taxes, all that sort of thing. We do have a 3-year raise on our water sewer. But that's under the Municipal Act. We found that we were doing that wrong because the law says that you cannot sell the services for any less than it costs you to make it, whether it's water or disposing of sewer or whatever it may be. But so there's already there's a plan in place for that. I mean, that everybody does know about, that the sewer rates and water rates will go up over the next 3 years, a bit for each year. And yeah, we'll do it. It's just that we have to tighten our belts.
If all goes according to schedule, Maple Creek's new lift station will be operational by November, with the old facility demolished thereafter. The town of Maple Creek's intention to borrow the funds for the new lift station project will be advertised in the local paper, with the motion passed at the next council meeting. Southwest Saskatchewan is home to an array of talent, and Jacqueline Hudec has now released her debut album. The Lyric Theatre in Swift Current was packed to capacity for Jacqueline Hudec's Prairie Girl CD release party. Originally from Leader, Hudec grew up with 5 brothers and 4 sisters, with music in her roots from an early age. Now on stage with 2 of her brothers and a nephew, the evening was truly a family affair, and one which she has long dreamed of. And after 2 years of in-studio sessions and years of songwriting, her CD, Prairie Girl, is ready for the public.
It's a collection of songs that I've written by myself as well as with other co-writers, and it's about growing up on the prairies. It's about having your heart broken and falling in love, and that big blue sky that we all love of the prairies. So that's kind of I wanted to have a project that captured that, and I think I did, so I'm really happy with it.
Now with her debut CD finally released, Hudec says a family tour may be on the horizon.
I'm going to release a couple of songs to radio, so if anybody has any suggestions of which songs are their favorites, I would be happy to take that. And then I went with Indie Pool, and they have a department where they are connected to the film and television industry, so maybe a song will get picked up there. And I also plan on doing a tour with Rob, a small tour. And I don't know when I'll do that, perhaps in the next year.
Aspirations of being on stage and recording one day, which Hudec says comes from years of hard work and dedication. Words of advice she hopes to instill in aspiring artists like Becky Newstater of Swift Current, an 18-year-old performer who has her own CD coming out later this fall, and credits artists like Jacqueline Hudec and Open Stage Nights for giving her the chance to follow her own dreams.
I remember watching her actually when I was younger, and I just thought how good she was. I'd like to move to Nashville, but I mean, it's hard to make it, I know that, and I understand that you go through a lot of heartbreak and all that, but it's worth a try.
Copies of Jacqueline Hudec's new release Prairie Girl can be found online through iTunes and on her website. Another exciting season of Market Square returns to downtown Swift Current, featuring live entertainment, fresh garden produce, crafts, and other unique vendors. Market Square, every Saturday at the corner of Central and Chaplin. Presented by Standard Motors, in partnership with Innovation Credit Union and Southwest TV News. With the start of another football season, the Swift Current Colts are hitting the field with new equipment, thanks to the CFL and Nissan. Nissan and the CFL have partnered for an exciting minor football promotion this season, where 21 school teams across Canada will be selected to receive donations of cash, equipment, and other training materials. The Swift Current Comp Colts recently received a surprise visit by the Nissan crew during an afternoon practice. And thanks to Night Nissan of Swift Current and the CFL, the Colts received new practice jerseys, hats, goalpost pads, and an Oklahoma shoot. A donation which was graciously welcomed by the team and their coach.
Yeah, it's exciting. The kids didn't really know what was coming, and I'd found out in June that we had the opportunity to get some new stuff. And we don't want to have to charge kids a whole bunch of money. That's obviously one of the things with the school division. So we do a good job of fundraising a little bit, but this helps, and it's money that I don't have to spend on the stuff that we got, so I can put it somewhere else, like new uniforms that we got for the fall. So it's very important.
Over $3,000 in sports equipment, which the Night Nissan crew of Swift Current was pleased to be a part of.
It only makes sense that we kind of follow suit and do something here in the community. You know, and these young kids could maybe someday be in the CFL, who knows? So it only makes sense to do this and just have everyone kind of rally together.
The Swift Current Comp Colts kick off their 2014 football season on September the 6th, hosting Weyburn. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.